What if the greatest discovery in human history wasn't a new planet, a hidden galaxy, or a message from aliens? What if the greatest discovery was that humanity itself was never supposed to exist? For centuries, humans looked at the stars and asked the same question. Are we alone? Every civilization, every culture, every generation searched for an answer. Some believed the universe was created for us. Others believed we were nothing more than a cosmic accident, a small species living on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star. The debate continued for thousands of years. Then everything changed. It began in the most isolated place on Earth, Antarctica, a continent of ice, silence, and secrets. For decades, scientists studied strange gravitational anomalies beneath the frozen surface. The readings made no sense. Deep underground was something massive, something artificial, something that should not have been there. At first, researchers assumed it was a geological formation, perhaps an unusual concentration of minerals, perhaps the remains of an ancient asteroid. The truth was far stranger. After years of drilling through layers of ice and rock, a hidden chamber was discovered. The structure stretched for hundreds of kilometers. Its walls were made from a material unknown to science. It showed no signs of corrosion, no signs of age, no signs that it belonged to any civilization humanity had ever known. The deeper scientists explored, the more impossible the discovery became. The structure appeared older than the surrounding rock itself, older than the ice, older than the continent. Some calculations suggested it was older than Earth. That should have been impossible. Nothing could be older than the planet on which it was found. Yet the evidence pointed toward a single conclusion. The structure had not been built on Earth. It had arrived before Earth became what it is today. News of the discovery spread across the world. Governments denied it. Scientists argued over it. The public demanded answers. Then explorers reached the center of the structure. There they found a chamber unlike anything ever seen. No machinery, no weapons, no treasure, only a single object, a black sphere suspended in the air. It floated without support, silent, motionless, waiting. When researchers approached the sphere, it activated. Every light in the chamber disappeared. Every instrument stopped working. For several seconds, complete darkness filled the room. Then a message appeared. Not on a screen, not through speakers. Inside their minds. The message contained only 4 words. Experiment 734 is complete. Nothing else. No explanation, no instructions, no signature. Just 4 words. The world was thrown into chaos. Religious leaders debated its meaning. Scientists searched for hidden codes. Governments classified every piece of information they could find. But nobody could answer the obvious question. What experiment? Weeks passed. Then strange events began. Astronomers noticed stars disappearing. At first, they assumed their instruments were malfunctioning. In human history, then observatories across the planet reported the same phenomenon. A message from aliens. Entire stars vanished. What if the greatest discovery was that humanity itself was never supposed to exist, as if they had been erased? For centuries, humans looked at the stars and asked the same question. The sky humanity had known for thousands of years slowly changed. Every culture, constellation, every generation searched for an answer. Ancient patterns vanished forever. Some believed the universe was created across the planet. Others believed the universe we were nothing more than a cosmic accident. New telescopes were directed toward the missing planet orbiting what they found terrified everyone. The debate enormous objects were moving through space. Then their size defied comprehension. It began in the most larger than planetary systems. Antarctica. They were not natural. A continent they were machines, silence, machines moving with purpose. For decades, scientists studied strange gravitational anomalies financial markets the frozen surface. Governments declared states of emergency. Deep military forces prepared for a war nobody understood. Humanity watched the sky and waited. At first, for the first time in history, every nation shared the same fear. Perhaps an unusual concentration of minerals. Months later, perhaps the remains of an ancient asteroid. The images became clearer. The truth was far stranger. The structures resembled vast geometric layers of ice stretching across millions of kilometers. Was discovered. No visible engines. The structure stretched for hundreds of kilometers. No signs of life. Its walls were made from a material unknown to science. Then another event showed no signs of corrosion. Every screen on Earth activated simultaneously. No signs that it belonged to any civilization humanity had ever known. Digital billboards. The deeper scientists explored, the more impossible the disconnected from the internet displayed the structure appeared older than the surrounding rock itself. 72 hours. Older than the ice. No explanation. Older than the continent. No message. Some calculations suggested the countdown became the center of human existence. That should have been impossible. Every conversation revolved around it, on which it was every government focused on it. Yet the evidence pointed every scientist searched desperately for answers. The structure had not been built. As the timer decreased, researchers had arrived before the Antarctic became what it is today. They believed the sphere was connected to the approaching across the world. Somewhere inside the ancient complex, scientists argued over it. The search continued around the clock. Then, hours before the countdown reached zero, a hidden passage was discovered. There they found a chamber unlike anything ever seen. The tunnel descended deeper than any previous chamber. No weapons, at its end, no treasure, stood a door, only a single object, automatically. A black sphere inside was a room unlike any other. It floated without support. Its walls displayed moving images, motionless, not videos, waiting, memories. When researchers approached the sphere, it activated. Scientists watched every light in the chamber. The story of humanity unfolded. Every instrument stopped working. The images showed several seconds of years ago. Darkness filled the room, not as it truly was. Then a message appeared, as it had been designed, not on a screen. Gigantic structures surrounded the young planet. Inside their minds, machines larger than moons manipulated oceans, continents, and Experiment 734 is creators complete. Were preparing a world. Nothing else. Not for no explanation. For no instructions. No thousands of worlds appeared in the recordings. The world was thrown into chaos. Each one religious leaders debated its meaning. Some scientists searched for hidden themselves through war. Governments classified every piece of information they could find. Some nobody could answer the obvious question. Others achieved technology but lost curiosity. Weeks passed. Every world represented a different path. Astronomers noticed stars disappearing. At first, was one among their instruments were malfunctioning. Experiment 734. Then observatories across the planet recordings revealed something even more shocking. Entire stars Humanity had not been directly created. Not creators established conditions, as if they had been erased. Life evolved naturally. More disappeared. Choices remained free. The sky humanity had known for thousands of years slowly changed. Every failure belonged to humanity. Broke apart. The test was never about intelligence. Vanished forever. It was never about technology across the planet. It was never about the universe itself appeared to be changing. Was something far more important. New telescopes were directed toward the missing regions. Could an intelligent species gain terrified everyone without destroying enormous objects were moving through space. Curious without becoming arrogant? Defied comprehension. Could it become strong without becoming cool? Each one was larger than planetary systems. Could it explore the universe without repeating the mistakes of the past? They were machines. Those questions defined the experiment. Machines moving for millions of years, the creators watched silently. Financial markets collapsed. They never interfered. Governments never gave instructions. Of emergency. They observed. Military forces waiting for an answer. For a war nobody understood. As scientists absorbed the humanity watched the countdown reached its final minutes. For the first time in history, every nation shared the same fear. 10. The machines continued approaching. 7. 6. Months later, 5. They entered the solar system. 3. The images became clearer. The structures resembled vast geometric cities for a moment, nothing millions of kilometers. Then the sky changed. Visible engines. A light spread across the atmosphere. No signs of life. The stars seemed brighter. Technology. The universe felt closer. Then another event occurred. Across every continent, every screen on Earth activated simultaneously. Above Earth appeared a structure unlike anything imaginable. Computers. It stretched from horizon to horizon. Satellites. Ancient. Even devices disconnected from the internet displayed the same image. A voice spoke. A countdown. Not through 72 hours. Through thought itself. No explanation. Every human heard the same message. Only time. We have observed your journey became the center of human existence. We have witnessed every conversation revolved around images of wars. Every government focused conflicts. Every scientist searched desperately for humanity's darkest moments. As the timer decreased, the images researchers returned to the Antarctic structure. Discovery. What if the greatest discovery in human history wasn't a new planet? A hidden galaxy, or a message from aliens. We have witnessed your achievements. What if the greatest discovery was that humanity itself was never supposed to exist? The experiment was never about perfection. Looked at the stars and asked the same question. Millions listened. Are we alone? The experiment was about every civilization. People cried. Every culture. Governments every generation searched. Scientists stood speechless. Some believed the creators had not searched for flawless beings. Others believed they had searched for a civilization capable of learning. A small civilization living on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star. Then the final question appeared across the sky. For thousands of years. Letters larger than continents. Then everything changed. Visible from every corner of Earth. It began in the most isolated place on Earth. Are you ready to join us? Antarctica. Nobody knew what joining them meant. Of ice, perhaps it meant access to unimaginable knowledge. For decades, perhaps it meant traveling between gravitational anomalies. Perhaps it meant becoming part of a civilization older than time itself. Deep underground was something massive. Humanity stood at the edge of a new era. Something that every invention, every discovery, researchers every struggle, it was a geological formation. Every perhaps victory, an unusual concentration of minerals had led to this remains of an ancient. The universe had been watching. The truth was the test was complete. After years of remained on layers of ice and rock, for the first time in human history, the next chapter would not belong to a single nation, a single leader, its walls were made from a material unknown. It would belong to all of humanity. It showed no signs of corrosion. Looking toward the stars, no ready to discover what waited beyond them.